Speak Student!
Initial modifiers, a la Shmoop. Essay got you feeling down? Sentences sounding more like a funeral march than a symphony in A major? Well, mix it up with initial modifiers. Yeah. Okay, so what is an initial modifier? A modifier is a word, phrase, or clause that can, well, modify your sentence. That is, make it better. And just like it sounds, an initial modifier adds a little something something to the beginning of your sentence. It makes your sentence, or sentences, if they can be combined into one, do some grammatical gymnastics, switching up the order of your words so that your writing has more flow, is more interesting, and doesn't sound like you're leading your sentences en masse to their deaths. There are 4 types of initial modifiers. Write them down. An initial dependent clause starts your sentence with a word like although, because, or since. An initial infinitive phrase opens your sentence with the infinitive of a verb. We'll explain what that is in a bit. An initial adverb starts you off with one of those words that ends in ly. Clearly, happily, schmuppily, something like that. And finally, an initial participle phrase begins your sentence with the ing form of a verb, as in wanting a better explanation of initial modifiers. All right, we're getting there. Part 1. Initial dependent clauses. Now would be a good time to brush up on your dependent clauses, but it's basically any phrase that can't stand on its own and starts with one of those words mentioned above. Like, because my adorable kitten mistook my laptop for its litter box. Yeah, not a good situation. Normally, you'd probably say something like, I don't have my final paper because my adorable kitten mistook my laptop for its litter box. Probably followed by, I'm sorry, and I don't understand why you're giving me an F when it's clearly Cupcake's fault. A perfect example for why you should use initial modifiers. Yeah, you've got 3 sentences in a row starting with the subject I. That's boring. So the initial modifier comes in and shakes things up. The dependent clause moves to the front and you get, because my adorable kitten mistook my laptop for its litter box, I don't have my final paper. Still kind of flimsy excuse, but at least it flows better. Part 2. Initial infinitive. An infinitive is just to plus a verb, like to love, to be, to golf, to schmoop. I brought in the laptop. I wanted to avoid getting into trouble. That stinks, both grammatically and literally. Stick an infinitive on the front. To avoid getting into trouble, I brought in the laptop. Got it? All right. Part 3. The initial adverb. An adverb describes how you did something and usually ends in ly. I was careful to keep the kitten from peeing on me on the way to school, too. Carefully keeping him from peeing on me, I brought the kitten to school. Got it? Yeah, do that. And part 4, the participial phrase initial modifier. That is, a phrase starting with a verb that ends with ing, like this. I brought Cupcake as proof. I hope you'll give me an extension. A better way to say it is, hoping to get an extension, I brought Cupcake as proof. Dang, that is some adorable proof. Subscribe to check out more equally fantabulous videos. You should see the subscribe button just below this one. If you're having trouble locating it, we recommend you watch our video, How to Find the Subscribe Button.